guys get whiplash and car wrecks, and shoot, we do that about 10 jumps a ride. So, yeah, no, it's a bit rough. Try to keep your chin tucked.
Rodeo time.
Welcome to the Luke Branquinho Show. My next guest has been a kid. I call him a kid because I'm old, but a guy that has been on the circuit for not very long. In fact, he's setting records his permit year and then set records his rookie year. Keenan Hayes, thanks for joining me, man.
Thanks for having me.
Man, want to talk about a career in professional rodeo, your first 2 years, and I'm going to start with this last year, winning your first world championship, your rookie year, setting the rookie year's season earnings. I mean, dude, that's some impressive stuff right there, man. Congratulations on that.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. It was a fun year. It was kind of went fast, but it was a good time. I had a lot of fun.
Well, take advantage of it because I promise you, it doesn't go by any slower. But man, just getting to watch you from, doing TV broadcasts, and obviously a fan of rodeo too, but watch just how you went about it and how you accomplished it was amazing. But now I want to go back to your permit year, which you won enough money. You set the record for permit earnings in the bareback riding. You won enough money to qualify to the national finals on your permit, but decided just to sit out that year instead of getting your card.
Yeah, so I was on my permit and I went to my circuit finals and won a bunch there, and just kind of waited too long to buy my card for it to count. So it wasn't going to count. It was counting on the previous permit. So I just decided it'd be a good time just to ride my permit out one more year and then just on top of it the next year. And so that's kind of what I went with, and turned out to be a good idea. Just wanted all that money to count.
Yeah, it turned out to be a great idea. I mean, just actually people were probably thinking, what's this kid doing? He's crazy not buying this card. Well, I got a bigger plan for the next year, and you went ahead and did that.
Right. Yeah, I had really always wanted that Rookie of the Year title, and so I just kind of focused on that. A lot of guys told me when I was first starting out to ride out the 2 years of the permit and learn as much as you can, and then go hard and have enough money saved up so you don't go broke. And so I just kind of worked with that, and that's just what I focused on that extra permit year. And I didn't watch much of the finals that year. It kind of salted me up, not gonna lie.
I could imagine knowing that you won enough on your permit, which for a lot of people, what they don't realize, and I know it's different in time events and rough stock events, but you're on your permit. You may not get into some of the best rodeos, the biggest rodeos. You kind of have to go to the smaller ones and I guess earn your keep, so to say, and just try to win what you can at those smaller ones.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was a whole lot of that. I think I went to 117 rodeos that year. I think I entered like 120, so I went to pretty well everything I entered, and yeah, it was a whole lot of that. But yeah, I didn't get into anything in the wintertime. Fort Worth, Rapid City, San Antonio. I got into San Angelo and Austin and those ones. But yeah, some of them big indoors we didn't get let into, so. Yeah, who knows if I would have bought it, what could have happened. But I think it was a good choice just to stick it out and then just be sure to have everything else count.
Yeah, I would say it was a pretty good decision. I mean, you won $434,000 last year, and 168 of that came at the national finals, which the money at the finals is great, but to have that much going in, that was pretty damn impressive. And you take away one rodeo you didn't go to, and I want to talk about that. But Calgary, you didn't go to Calgary.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we didn't make it up there. We were down home and made the NFR Open, so we were hitting all them circuit rodeos down around Wyoming and Colorado. And there's a bunch right that same week. And so we were down there making the circuit finals again.
Well, the way that NFR Open pays, crazy not to.
Yeah, that NFR Open paid really good too, so it made it a pretty easy decision just to stay home and just kind of hit while everybody was up north. And shoot, I don't like going that far from home anyway. I like kind of sticking around home during the summertime. It's pretty nice around that time of year. So we just hang out around there as much as we can.
Last year, when did you think, man, this is happening? Not only am I going to make the national finals my rookie year, but I have a legitimate chance to win a gold buckle my rookie year. Like, when did you think, sit back and like, oh shit, this could happen?
So like right around, right probably after Houston, I was sitting second, I think. And, just LB was the only guy ahead of me, and he was winning everything. So I was feeling pretty good. And about that time of year, just figured if I could keep it rolling, just keep having fun, going to as much stuff as I could, not get lazy, I'd have a good chance at it. So that's about that time I figured I'd probably be making the finals. And then around 4th of July, I think I jumped LB right before that, and then 4th of July I went to like 6 in 3 days and won a whole boatload. So about right then I was kind of pulling away from guys, and I was like, holy cow, I just need to finish out the Northwest run good, and we have a good chance at this. So we just right around then was probably the time I was like, holy cow, it's kind of all happening. And I heard last year on my permit, somebody said to me that nobody won it on the rookie, the world championship on the rookie. So I was like, well, shoot, I better go do it now. Can't waste it.
Well, for everybody that doesn't know, LB Lon Barry, I think, is who you're talking about. It's somebody that has really excelled. And when I say excelled, for me, I've got to see everybody from Larry Sandvik to the young kids now. And Leighton has been somebody that has been so impressive the last few years too. And is Leighton one of those guys you look up to? I mean, the thing about you bareback riders is you're a pretty tight knit group, but is Leighton kind of somebody that helps guide you around?
Oh yeah. He helped me out a bunch. Me and his little brother Cade were really good buddies. First year I come down here, I think I was 17, down to Texas. I went over to their house and hung out around them, and got advice from LB my first permit year about horses down there around Texas and stuff, and just kind of always thought he rode good and got to know him pretty good. So now we hang out and BS all the time, going to rodeos and stuff like that. But yeah, them guys are awesome group of guys, and like the rest of the bareback riders in the room, like we're all pretty close. But yeah, there's definitely a couple in there that we're all homies.
Well, it's always good to have that core group. When we were steer wrestling, we'd always have, you'd have your 4 buddies that was your brotherhood. Those were the guys you go to battle with, and everybody else was still tight, but those 4 guys, if you needed to work out something, those were the guys you went to. And I feel like every event kind of has that. Yeah,
for sure. And it's kind of funny, like every different rodeo kind of has their own guys entered. So like they're just who you're with that day is just kind of changes with everyone. So like a guy that you could be homies with one day and then not see him for a month, and then be homies with everybody else for that month you don't see him, but right. Stuff like that. But so
it's like you guys hit it off. Yeah, it's like you hit it off whether you've been apart for 3 days or 3 months. You start right back to where you were last time you saw them.
Yeah, tie right back into the same old joke you had.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Keenan, I want to talk about going into the national finals with that big of a lead. And I don't know the number exactly, but how far ahead of second place were you going into it?
I think it was just over 100,000. So yeah, I think.
Right. If anybody knows the payout, that's just not a whole hell of a lot to be ahead of somebody. I mean, they gather you up pretty quick. So you had to go into the finals and do your job all 10 nights.
Yeah. I had that little bit of a cushion, so I knew like I could go into the finals, kind of get to feel in it and learn some just what the finals was, and but go out and still do my job. And kind of another thing was like the average. Knew that was a big deciding factor in the end of it.
Right.
Especially with how Jess rode. He was giving me a run for my money every night he had. And so we were just going at it just like it was rodeo in the middle of the year. Like just go out, have fun, just take take that horse like it is every other horse. If it was shooting Steamboat, Colorado, just a small rodeo, you know. And but yeah, we just had fun with it, learning out the new atmosphere and everything, and ended up working out. But yeah, had a blast competing with them guys, and look forward to doing it again for sure.
Damn right. Well, 850 points on 10 head. That's obviously me doing my simple math in my head is 85 points per horse. That's got to be fairly close to the average record. What is the average record?
I don't know that by any means. But yeah, no, I just kind of wasn't winning much in some rounds, and then but placing in a couple, and then but being right out of the money there, and just was consistent all week, and that's kind of what ended up being what helped me out the most.
What was the scariest horse, which you say scary, but like a draw you had at the finals going, ooh, damn. We got to get by.
Shoot, there really wasn't anything I was like, man, this is a real e-penner. Like, there's like that Not So Foxy, I kind of underestimated her. She was in the e-pen, I think round 7, and I kind of overlooked her. The way she bucked, it looked like she was more of a hopper, but I got on her and everything was away, and I always had to really work my butt off to kind of keep up with her. But yeah, no, there really wasn't any that I was like, holy cow, just because there's a lot of horses I got on previously in the year, and shoot, the big bad ones that I had at the beginning of the week, I rode really good, so I was pretty confident throughout it.
Well, and that probably makes a difference getting by those big bad ones at the beginning of the week, knowing, especially your first year there, you know, NFR rookie of the year, but knowing that, okay, I got them big bad ones. Now we just go ahead and finish it off with what I've been doing all year long.
Oh yeah. Yeah. After round 7, it's the biggest relief of your life. That's for sure. You get
no
by
more
that
e-penners.
E-pen. Yeah. Yeah. You're like, oh, we got good ones the rest of the way. So we can just stay upright, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And you know, rodeoing all year long, especially talked about going over the 4th of July. You with 6 rodeos in 3 days. How does that equate to 10 rounds at the NFR, 1 horse a day? Because, you know, you guys get banged up, you get sore at the finals, but you would think getting on 6 head in 3 days would be even harder.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, just because you're in riding shape that time. You've been getting on back to back pretty well for two months going on by then. And like this time of year, it's kind of the same thing as the finals. Like you're having that time off, so your body's just not used to it. Because there's really weird muscles that you use in the bareback riding. So like you'll just be walking around and have like a really weird spot bothering you. But yeah, no, it's kind of just one of those things you got to just go and do. And after a couple of weeks of doing it, you get feeling good. So honestly, like those back-to-back rodeos during the 4th of July, it's really the hardest part is just getting to them. Getting on's the easy part. You're already warmed up and ready to go. You're in just go mode. So
from Cody to Red Lodge, or Red Lodge to Cody, and then back to Livingston, and
yeah, Oakley to West Jordan, and then back up to North Dakota.
Well, for all you folks that are listening or watching, I highly suggest you go out and check Google or YouTube. First off, YouTube, and like and subscribe to Luke Branquinho Show. But go to Google Bareback Riding, and you'll see what Keenan's talking about, because it's like you're in a car wreck every time you nod your head, just the jerking and abuse you're putting on your body. Yeah.
Guys get whiplash and car wrecks, and shoot, we do that about 10 jumps a ride. So yeah, no, it's a bit rough. Try to keep your chin tucked.
I could imagine. What made you pick bareback riding? Because you used to ride. You rode bulls? Did you do any other time events?
Didn't do any timed events. I didn't ride very many. I got on a lot of broncs, so that made the decision on that one pretty easy. But no, I rode bulls and bareback horses, amateur rodeos and everything since I was 12 years old. And then I started pro rodeo when I was 18, and they let me into my first pro rodeo in both of them. And I think I was 52 points, won day money that day, like $560, and didn't let me into nothing else in the bull riding. Letting me into the bareback ridings at all these pro rodeos, but no bull ridings. And I got tired of packing my helmet and my bull rope around, so I just left it at home next time I was there and quit entering the bull riding. And they started paying me in the bareback riding, so I just kind of focused on it. And definitely a lot less sore nowadays, not having to do the bull riding and the bareback. And shoot, I'd probably be falling asleep behind the bucking chutes if I had to wait until the bull riding every rodeo.
Yeah, you have a pretty big break between the bareback ride and bull riding. Guy can lose his train of thought pretty fast. Who are some of the guys you looked up to at a young age?
So I learned a lot from Casey Coletti when I was first starting riding bareback horses. He was at a high school, our high school finals, and they had a PRCA school or something like that there, and he was a coach, and just kind of got me pointed the right direction and using my feet and stuff like that. Before that, I was just kind of holding on to ponies and stuff, riding them like a bull. And then, but about that time, I realized that's what I needed to work on. So I just worked on it, and probably 2 or 3 years down the way, I could spur one pretty good. And then I was entering open rodeos around Colorado. There's a bunch of them during the weeks there right on the western slope. And Stephen Peebles was over in Snowmass one week, and he'd come and talk to me and started giving me some advice. So been keeping in touch with him. And so them two guys helped me out a bunch. And then way back when I was first starting would have been Jake Boko. He put me on steers, roping steers at his house, and kind of taught me how to ride bulls that way. He used to ride bulls in the PBR back in the 2000s. So just some older guys helped me out that way. And then when I first started pro rodeo on her last year, Wyatt got me a bunch.
You say when I first started pro rodeo? Oh yeah, that was last year. But you're a veteran with a gold buckle now. But anyway, go ahead.
So yeah, on my card, Denny, I jumped in with Denny and Shano, and they entered me up, which is a good thing, because I probably wouldn't have been at very many rodeos if I was doing any entering. I'm pretty garbage at it. But so them guys they helped me in that way. And so there's been a lot of hands on deck for sure. And my parents, they put me on stuff ever since I was little. And even when they weren't home, I'd get on sometimes, and they'd chew my butt. But yeah, no, kind of anything I ever wanted towards the rodeo, I had to work for it for sure. But I definitely had the right hands in line to help me get where I wanted.
Here on the Luke Branquinho Show, we like to throw a little rodeo trivia around. So we're going to ask the question, and you guys put the answers in the comments. See if you get it right. Who was the first woman to qualify to the NFR in 1974? To hear the answer, you're going to have to stay tuned, keep watching the show, because I will answer it a little bit later.
You know, obviously, when you got your card last year, you're just now figuring out how to enter. Well, it took me about the same. I'd rodeoed my rookie year, ended up missing the NFR by one spot. I was 16th, and then the next year, at the end of the year, I started rodeoing with Brad Gleason, and people would put me down, and I didn't know. They'd call in and they'd enter, and I'd be over here like. And then finally, Brad's like, "You better learn how to do this, because you're going to have to one of these days." And Brad helped me a lot and figure out how to learn how to enter and stuff. Which it's changed tremendously now. We used to get, it was called the Business Journal. I don't think they have those anymore. But the paper Business Journal, and we'd have to go highlight, mark rodeos, mark the enter and close date, the number to Procom, which I still know 800. I can't remember it, but we used to have to call in. I don't think you've ever had to experience calling in to enter a rodeo, did you?
Last year when the website was down.
That's right.
I was giving Wyatt and Shano crap about it. I was like, holy cow, I never thought I'd see the day.
Yeah. Oh, I remember it. It's 800-234-7722. Anyway.
Yeah, I knew the last 4.
Yeah. But we used, I mean, I could still remember, you know, with 20 years ago, card number 27760 is mine, 20360, Trav Cadwell, and that, anyway, or that's not Travis. Anyway, I don't remember what it is, but the numbers we have to remember to enter was nuts, and now you guys get to do it all on the touch of your phone.
Right.
You don't have to worry about calling in and hitting the busy signal and going, damn it, I don't know if I'm going to get an operator in time to enter this one.
Right. Yeah, I haven't had to deal with that too much. I have here and there. Like last year, I was a hold guy in the back seat when we were trying to enter last summer. So I got pretty tired of that dang hold song they had. But yeah, no, I've tried to learn a little bit. I've always put my own schedules. The first 2 permit years, I traveled with a few guys, but a lot of the time I was by myself. So I was entering, but sometimes it wasn't the best best routes, or I'd get screwed around. So I'd be doing a lot of back and forth. And but yeah, learning it now and realizing the times of the year you got to go, and like this time of year you can just kind of getting into the big ones, just go to them instead of having to hit everything and use yourself up early in the year. So just kind of things like that. There's a lot to learn. I've come to realize.
Well, a lot to go into. Just like you said, you don't want to. I can't remember. Oh, I was talking to Tilden Hooper, and he's like, going to the winter rodeos is okay, but you can get on a lot of junk too. And a guy smart, if he enters smart in the wintertime, maybe don't go to as many, but once the spring run hits, that's when a guy could really get a hold of him and get some money won. And knowing how to enter that way, I think would probably be very important for you guys. Yeah.
And like some of these rodeos, there's better days to get in. So like just even little things like that, and just kind of all comes with going. So that was a big thing when I was going on my card. I had been buddies with Wyatt and Shano, so like when they offered to jump in, I jumped on right away. And because going with a guy like that, know how to get there, and that's a big difference than just trying to figure it out by yourself.
Well, and you're in the right era of rodeo, which I'm jealous for a lot of the guys now, because when I retired, it was just really starting to pick up. You guys are running at $30,000 rounds, $70,000+ averages, and then it's just going to increase next year. But there's also other avenues for guys to make money, like your WCRA, your Americans, now this Kid Rock and Roll Rodeo. I mean, it's pretty exciting times for a young cowboy.
Yeah, and the way it's all changing, it's no longer just a go out, have fun, and more of a business. So it's really cool to see it kind of come around and towards this way. It's I'd like it to kind of go back a little bit to more having fun. I like to have a lot of the fun. So everybody being serious all the time, it's kind of got to dip your toes in to see how the atmosphere is that day in the locker room. But yeah, no, I just like to have fun with it. So it's really cool to be able to make a living doing what I've done my whole life, and be seeing the money just keep growing year in and year out. It's just pretty exciting.
Yeah. What about this American? I mean, this is going to be obviously you don't have a chance at the million, but you got a chance at that 100,000. That's pretty nice to have that guaranteed getting to go into it.
Yeah, no, that's it's pretty cool. I've never actually went through the qualifiers in previous years. I've never focused that way. I just was trying to get into the PRCA kind of loop this time of year around Texas. So I was never going to it, never would take the time off. And so, yeah, this year just having a step right in, that's the coolest thing in the world. It's helps me out a bunch. But, yeah, that 100,000, that's still so much money. I wouldn't – $1 million, you could tell me I got it. I don't think I'd wrap my head around it just because I wouldn't even know what you could buy with that much. It's whatever, put in the bank, I guess. But yeah, 100,000 is kind of the same way. Like I know it wouldn't count, but shoot, make rodeoing easier for the next year. That's for sure.
It doesn't count in the standings, but it counts in that bank account.
Exactly. It still counts somewhere. Spends the same.
Well, and similar to the WCRAs, and it sounds like you probably haven't been to many or any of those, and that's another opportunity. you see guys like in the bronc riding, Isaac Diaz. I mean, he's won a pile at them. He obviously about made the NFR in the bronc riding, but you can go to those and have a chance at 10, 15 grand and only have to be there for a day or two. So more opportunity in the rodeo business is pretty nice.
Yeah, there's so many options now. Like, I know there used to be back in like high school, you had different amateur associations and some paid better than others. And you could go down here and do the CPRAs and stuff like that. But yeah, having it in the rodeo world up like at full stage. And cause a few years ago, yeah, there's just a PRCA to go to. And if you're a bull rider, you could go PBR. And
Right.
But yeah, having these big name options is definitely a cool thing to do. And be able to win that much money in one weekend without having to keep going and be away from family all year. It's a game changer for sure. Because everybody in rodeo, there's so many different guys with families, and then you have a young 21-year-old, doesn't care about anything, and so it's just so different. These different options are helping everybody.
Yeah, for sure. When you're out here rodeoing, where like down here in Texas, what you stay at Layton's, or where do you hang out when you're down here?
I'm down here at Chase Richter's house. I help him with the some of his practices on Mondays when I'm around, and he puts me up, try to keep the place picked up, give me something to do during the time off. And there's a couple golf courses right nearby, so try to go out and do that as much as I can, and just kind of stay busy. I don't really work out a whole lot when I'm down here. Just kind of, I don't know, I just hang out. I've never been really a workout guy a whole lot. But so I just kind of hang out and just stay busy and have fun, and try to stay out of trouble best I can.
Well, when I talked to you at first, you were at the downhill. Or
yeah.
The downhill just happened. You guys went ahead and hung out there. I had never experienced the Cowboy Downhill before, but they said it's a fun time.
Oh, it's a blast. I've been going the last 3 years. It's kind of funny. I from 20 minutes from there in Hayden, so grew up around it, and everybody's skiing and stuff. And it's always been so dang expensive to go up out on the mountain, so I never been until the first year I went to the downhill, and it was a wreck. And I jumped in with Wyatt Denny last couple of years, so I kind of had no choice to figure it out. We'd go snowboarding and skiing on our days off. So here lately, I like to think I'm pretty good, but we can get to the bottom rather quickly nowadays.
It would take me a while to get to the bottom because I'd probably be having to pick the snow out of my ears or my face. Anyway. You wouldn't think you can get road rash on ice or snow, but you dang sure get scraped up pretty good, and that would be me.
Oh yeah, that ice and stuff. It was these last few years it was pretty nice. It was snowing, so it was nice, pretty nice fall for the most of it. But yeah, that first year I went, I think I made half a day and was over it.
Oh geez.
Got at the bottom and got free food and free drinks all the rest of the afternoon.
Oh man, yeah, and Coors was the big sponsor of that. I imagine they still are, huh?
I think it's Bud Light now. Yeah.
Oh, is it? But maybe it was Bud Light was the sponsor. We can cut that out. We don't need to mention that. But anyway, so what?
Weird feeling about that.
Yeah. What last year? Obviously, your first year going hard and on your card. So, I mean, it's probably hard to say, well, these rodeos are my favorites. But what are some of your favorite rodeos that you've been to? Obviously, ones you probably won, but.
Right. There's a bunch. I like Pendleton at the end of the year. It's a party. Everybody's kind of letting loose one last time for the year, and it's
you're either letting loose because you made the finals, or you're letting loose because you worked your ass off and didn't make them.
Yeah. Everybody has their own reason, but it's a good time either way.
Yeah.
That one and probably Cheyenne. I like Cheyenne, and shoot. I went to so many these last few years. I forget a lot of them, but I really like that outdoor in Okeechobee, Florida. That's a cool little arena down there, and just little ones. I like those small little ones.
Okeechobee's that old wooden arena, isn't it?
Yeah. Actually, last year, so we were they have 2 rodeos down there now. The first rodeo is not at that one. It's somewhere on the I think on the reservation there nearby.
Did you make a mistake and go to that?
Yep. Yeah, because we were like flipping it in the map there, the address on the PSN, and I was like, no, I've been to this rodeo. It ain't over there, you know. So we even had the right one put in, and it was like 30 minutes away, and yeah, we rolled in, and there wasn't a soul in sight. We're oh shoot, had to turn around and haul ass back. And we were already running late. That was the good part. I think I was up the next day there, so I was good. But there's 2 guys riding with us. I think they were late, so they had like 30 minutes. They quit driving, jumped in the camper, and we made it to the rodeo forum. But yeah,
you got it all right. Had to heat their riggings up and get everything ready to go, and they jump out and throw them on.
Yeah, they're in the camper getting rocked around back there.
Yeah, I guess that we learned from our mistakes. I actually did that too. We were at my rookie year. We were sitting in the parking lot at Ellensburg. We were up at Puyallup. We had ran our first one. So a lot of guys go back to Puyallup to hang out with, horses and stuff. And we're sitting in the parking lot there at Ellensburg, and it's in the morning. The guys I'm with are like, hey, what time's the perf start at Puyallup? And I look at the business journal again. It was the paper book. Right. And I said, 7:00. Threw it on the dash, and they're like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. You think I'm stupid? Well, we leave there about noon, and it takes, a couple hours to get to Puyallup. And we pull in, unload horses, and here comes somebody walking back with a team of bull-line horses that are muddy. And we're like, what the hell is that person doing? Well, there were 2 perfs that day. One was at 1:30, and we just missed it. So you learn from the mistakes. That's for damn sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't take naps in a couple hours before rodeos anymore. I slept through Dodge City one day, or dang near. I woke up to Boyd screaming over the announcer deal, and so I come running. It was I failed to see the rainstorm coming in, and grabbed my felt hat instead of my straw hat, and I was sitting on my horse, and the biggest raindrops I ever did see, they started dropping on us, and by the end of it, I think that was the time Frankie was 90-something on gunfire or something like that there in Dodge. But, yeah, we're all tucked away underneath the shed thing back there. And I think there's 2 people on the bucket chute when by the time of the end of the bareback ride, and it was raining so dang hard.
Did you have black felt dye running down your face and everywhere?
Oh, yeah, and it went full flop mode. Like, it was so wet, it didn't have no shape left in it. And even when it dried, it was like kind of a cone again.
Oh, yeah.
It was bad.
You got that Resistol rookie hat to replace that one, so you were all set.
We finally got some good looking hats under me now. had to get Resistol to give me some more. So, but yeah, we're good now.
Keenan, I appreciate you coming on the show. It's been just amazing watching your young career and how you go about your business and just dominate at such a young age, man. Congratulations on that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you having me on. It was a good time.
Rodeo trivia question. Who was the first woman to qualify to the NFR in 1974? The first woman to compete at the National Finals Rodeo in 1974 was Wanda Harper Bush. Hey, you want to see more in-depth details on the Luke Branquinho Show? Make sure you like and subscribe.